Okay, so I saw this on Twitter. It said, which of these pre-2000s artists remains the most iconic? So you could go a few different ways with this. First off, Mariah Carey. I mean, the accolades are there. The chart success is there. The critical acclaim is there. The talent is there. 19 number one singles, most for a solo artist all time. Okay, she had Fantasy, Always Be My Baby, One Sweet Day, We Belong Together, All I Want for Christmas Is You, best Christmas song of all time that she wrote, by the way. One of the greatest songwriters to ever do it, one of the greatest singers to ever do it. She influenced Beyonce, a Kelly Clarkson, a Christina Aguilera. A lot of people wouldn't be singing if it wasn't for Mariah Carey, and she's been very influential when it just comes to the singing. Her talent as a writer and producer has to be noted, and her ability as a hitmaker has to be noted. I think she's been very iconic in pop culture too. Having a lot of great moments, with I Don't Know Her little shade that she likes to throw. I think she's adapted great to social media. I love how she appreciates her fans. And I mean, just the name, the hits, everything really speaks for itself. And I mean, even the new generation's loving her with songs like Obsessed. It's a Rap had a moment. Up on My Face is having a moment on TikTok right now. So I mean, her longevity, what she's been able to do, the way she was able to come back with the Emancipation Me, greatest comeback album of all time, her dominance on Christmas every year. I mean, Mariah Carey, there's her and a few select other people, and then there's everybody else. She's really made her stamp on the culture, and I love Mariah, so obviously, gotta start with her. Beyonce, I mean, look at her longevity from, starting off with Destiny's Child, having hits like Survivor, Bills, 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 Say My Name, and then going on to the solo career, having Crazy in Love with Jay-Z, which was just an iconic moment and one of her staples. And then, Deja Vu was a great song. You had the entire I'm Such a Fierce album was a hit for her with songs like Single Ladies. Halo was one of my favorite Beyonce songs. Four was a great moment. We Love Love on Top. Run the World was a hit. And then you had the self-titled era with that surprise drop, which really changed the game. And that's why artists release on Fridays now. Drunken Love was on that album. Jealous is one of my favorites. We Love Blow. You had the Lemonade album, which was iconic. We Love Formation. We Love Sorry. You had Renaissance, what that's been able to do as well. And, The Gift, shout out to The Gift. Shout out to Beyonce's ability to sell out stadiums, iconic. And yeah, I mean, just the name, the imagery, how hard that she works. And, Beyonce is very much a visionary. She's very much a hit maker. One of the best singers ever. People do a little bit too much on Beyonce as a singer. I don't know why. She's out singing most of y'all fave. And yeah, I just think she's supremely talented. A lot of people try to model their career after Beyonce, and it's not going to happen because Beyonce is basically one of one. To have that kind of talent, that's something we can't take for granted. I love Beyonce. She's one of the best to ever do it. And I love how she constantly reinvents herself with every single era and how she's always topping herself. Great artist overall. Beyonce is one of my favorites. And then you can say Madonna. Love her, hate her. She's had a lot of hits. She's had a lot of moments in pop culture at large. Like a Virgin, Like a Prayer. And she's also had that moment with the Hard Candy album, 4 Minutes with Justin Timberlake. She has had an impact in pop culture. She's influenced a lot of people. So you have to give her credits in that and in the longevity that she's had. Britney Spears, I love Britney Spears. Her discography hit me in a different way than it has this past year. She's definitely, iconic for what she's been able to do, having Baby One More Time, one of the best debut singles all time. And then you had Oops, I Did It Again. 3 was a great song. Hold It Against Me was a moment. I'm a Slave for You, Give Me More. I mean, Britney was cranking out the hits. A lot of people try to model artists after her. They try to model Christina after her a little bit. They try to model Jessica Simpson after her, and they went on to have their own careers. But, I mean, Britney is the blueprint for some people. Princess of Pop for a reason, and I really won't hear anything different. You can't deny her star power. You can't deny her talent as a performer, and she deserved a lot better, and I will always appreciate Britney. She makes music for the girls, and I just appreciated an iconic Sagittarius for sure. And then, shout out to Shakira for what she's been able to do in terms of crossing over here. And she's literally always having a top 10 hit. She breathes and it's a hit. So I have to appreciate what she's done. She's a great songwriter as well. I appreciate Shakira. She's given a lot. And I don't know, I see it here. I think that was a big setup. She had an era in the 2010s and that era's ended and now it's a chop. And she's not as iconic as these other ladies here. So that was definitely set up. We love Celine. Power of Love is definitely a jam. That's the Way It Is probably my favorite Celine song. It's All Coming Back to Me Now. You had that Titanic song. So Celine definitely had hits. One of the greatest singers all time. We love Celine. Christina, I enjoy her. Her being here is kind of a setup. I'm sorry. It's just such a strong lineup. I will say that. You know, we love the stripped album, and Christina did have some hits. I will say that. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. That's where I'm gonna leave it. So that's kind of all my opinions on these ladies right here. And you can make a strong case for most of them being the most iconic. I would give it to Mariah because I'm a Mariah fan. But if I put my bias aside a little bit, I might have to give it to Beyonce out of all these people. I just might. But that's my honest opinion. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Who are you putting at number one? Who is your favorite? How do you rank all these artists? Let's continue that conversation.